Hey genderqueer chat, it's Tuesday morning here. It's still dark outside, but it is technically Tuesday. This week's question, I'm just going to read it. Do other people's perceptions of your gender identity bother you? Does it motivate you to express yourself in ways you might not otherwise think of expressing yourself? So, it does and it doesn't. It's kind of hard to say, because I think when anybody, when anybody has like a gender perception of me, it means that, like, it'll typically mean that they're not treating me, like, as me. They're, in some way, they're showing that they have, whatever preconceived notions of gender, and they're placing it on me, instead of, understanding me as a person and as an individual, and, like, treating me as me and not as a gender. And, so in terms of the people that I'm close to in my life, they just, they know me well enough, and they treat me as an individual anyway. They treat me, as me and who I am and everything. So I don't notice it with them. I don't, they don't, because it doesn't play into who I am, and so it's not an issue really, unless we're specifically talking about gender issues. And even then, they're not really, putting a perception of gender on me. It's more just hypothetical talks and stuff. But in the outside world, or with people that I'm not very close to, it does bother me. Like, when when people do things, even like, holding doors, or like that awkward moment in the elevator when, like, the person who's, like, clearly closer to the door, and it would make so much more sense for this person to just get off first, like, waits as if I'm, like, supposed to struggle past him to, like, get off the elevator first. Like, that's annoying. And, just little things like that. If I were to, wear makeup and wear, like, a skirt and, like, look pretty, those little things would happen more. And that, when I was a teenager, I dressed, like, I wasn't into wearing, like, skirts and stuff. Like, I very, very rarely wore a skirt, but, I did, like, look more feminine. And look at me. Like, I'm not fooling anyone. Like, clearly, like, this face is female. It sucks. I hate it. I wish I looked more androgynous. But, like, when I did look more pretty, I did notice that I got sort of, a lot more special attention, and, things like, people holding doors or offering to carry stuff, or, like, just everything. Like, like, sometimes, like, there was a few times where, like, I got on the bus and I didn't have the right fare, like, unknowingly, and, the bus driver just lets you on. There is a difference, in the way that I'm treated when I'm dressed where I look pretty, and when I'm dressed just, normally for me, is like, sweatpants and a hoodie, or jeans and a hoodie, like men's jeans and a hoodie. And, like, there is a difference in the way people treat me, and I like being treated just like a normal person way better than being treated like a girl or like a woman. And so it does motivate me, to express myself in ways that don't perpetuate this, treating me special, or like, you know, the kind of, what's that word, like chivalrous. I feel like, you know, the more feminine you look, the more sort of chivalrous activity you get from strangers, and I don't like that at all. So that did motivate. That was actually a really big motivating factor um, in changing, when I sort of changed from, you know, when I was a teenager and I dressed, you know, women's clothes and stuff, kind of like evolving into men's clothes, and that was a really big factor, because it was like I started doing that before I even really thought about gender and gender queer, as like I didn't even know what gender queer was at the time I was doing that. It was I was doing that to get away from that kind of attention. So it does motivate me. I'd like to sit here and say, oh no, I just dress for who I am, and I'm just the way that I want to be, and da-da-da. But the way that I want to be is, you know, how I want to interact with people in the world, how I want to interact with society. The way that I'm dressed does have an effect on that, and I wish it wasn't that way, but it is. So yes, it does motivate me to act a little differently. I just want to show you guys, I'm sitting on the floor here. Yeah, sorry, that's the end of my gender queer chat video for today, so you can turn this off. But if you want to keep watching, I'm sitting on the floor here, and the reason I'm sitting on the floor is for the last couple of days I've been working on some jewelry, and I'm going to show you my process. This is wire. This is like a spool of wire. These are pliers. Take the pliers and da-da-da-da-da-da. They're like round pliers, they're not like real pliers. And you make a coil. It's like a spring. It's cool, it's fun to play with. Big spring. And then you cut it up and make little rings. And then you make jewelry. This isn't done yet. I had something in my head, and then I've just sort of recently actually just changed the design that I'm gonna do. But see, little rings, yay. Make things like earrings. Woo. Anyway, it's fun, and that's what I'm doing up at this time in the morning, because I couldn't sleep, because I kept thinking about what I wanted to do. I think anybody out there, any kind of artist will know, once you get an idea in your head and you're thinking about it and you want to like bring it to life, you want to finish it, because it's sort of all you think about. And I don't have anywhere I need to be tomorrow, so I'm just going to stay up and do what's in my head. So anyway, that was it for this week. Next week I'll probably be at my aunt's house, so maybe I'll introduce you to the dog or something. Alright, bye guys.